So that's the thing about Fidel. It is not a person. It's an idea. It's a process. It's a force. A political force that's represented in each and every Cuban.
Then came all these attacks from the United States. The Bay of Pigs, they bought diseases in order to destroy us economically. Fidel's speech came in the 1988. He said, there may be a time where the Soviet Union will be no longer. We have to be strong. It will be a hard time. But if we are strong and united, then we can surpass this crisis. We felt confident. We had some struggle, many economic problems, but we've always had this figure, this person that has said, if you are united, it will all be fine. And the funny part is that it was.
He had this capacity. It was like he could go to the future and then come back and explain it to us. He saw the fall of the Soviet Union. He saw all these environment crises that we are having right now.
Es un hombre muy grande en todos los aspectos. Puso a temblar el suelo en todo el mundo, en favor de los pobres como nadie nunca lo hizo. Fue una voz del cambio climático en las Naciones Unidas, antes que cualquiera. Las bombas podrán matar a las personas, pero no el hambre, dijo en Brasil una vez. Marca el camino para las generaciones futuras. Hay mucho camino por recorrer, pero ni en 100 años pasará otra persona como él por acá.
I believe that's the main thing about Fidel. He gave Cuban people a purpose, he gave Cuban people a social conscience, and to believe that not only a better country is possible, but also a better world.
He helped in Africa and Latin America.
So with Fidel, we had this global conscious each time there is a crisis in the world. Whether it's Ebola in Africa or Katrina in the United States of America, it doesn't matter because we know that the Cuban people will be there to support in any way.
Fidel has always blamed America for everything. The American government tried to punish Fidel and his dictatorship, but they haven't realized how much damage they have done to the people. He was brave. Those days were really hard and some citizens started to uprising and started to throw stones at windows. And Fidel decided to go himself. And he was there, not in a car or anything, but he stood there and he told the bodyguards to wait and not to interfere. And he walked into the uprising and he said, "What is happening here? Come on, talk to me." And all the people that were throwing stones and shouting started to exclaim, "Fidel!" and clap for him.
When you saw him, it was like, everything's gonna be fine now because Fidel is here.
Fidel appeared when you don't have a clue he's going to be there. Boom, he landed, he made questions, and it is also the sense of involving you and your capacity with the country. It's just, since then, everything I do, even here, I always have my country in mind. That sense comes from those days and remain the rest of my life.
Fidel, he was a wordsman, and he every time he taught, it was amazing.
He could have the people for 3, 4, 6 hours listening to him.
He can go and have a conversation with the top researchers in the world, or can talk with a simple farmer or peasant or anybody, a child, someone simple.
When he arrived, people had to say, "Oh, he's here, and he's unafraid, and he's coming to talk to us like people to people, like equals."
He wasn't the only man in charge of the revolution. I think the revolution, the main character of this revolution was precisely the people.
Allá abajo, bajo mina, Fidel bajó una vez, estrechó su mano con la mía. Hay mucho calor. ¿Cuántas horas trabajan? 8 horas. 8. Y cuando salió de bajo mina, y cuando salió emitió la ley que no podíamos trabajar 8. De en adelante trabajamos 4 turnos de 6 horas cada uno, ganando el mismo salario. Cuando él vio la situación de los obreros, analizó y actuó para ayudarnos a estos obreros bajo tierra.
But he's always, when something goes wrong, he gets the blame. But when something goes good, he doesn't get any recognition.
Every tourist person I've met in my entire life who has been to Cuba, they have come back as a different person.
I'm here because of Fidel, because of his work. My family was extremely poor. We had no resources, no education. But with the revolution, they started to live with more dignity.
When he was in prison, he did this amazing document, History Will Absolve Me, where he basically said what was the program for the revolution, and he implemented that program. We have been blockaded by many years by the most powerful country in the world that has tried to strangle our economy, and the economic situation has been very hard for lots of people. But nevertheless, if you compare Cuba with all of the developing countries, what we have achieved has been amazing in these conditions.
Humberto wanted to tell us that everyone and every country should follow the example of Fidel to take care of the poor ones.